the home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads.
Well. We ain't got chaos after all. And it's all because of the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's right. They upset those Georgia Bulldogs yesterday. And now there's a big to do about who to put in and who to leave out. A lot of firsts may happen tomorrow. There will be some firsts happen tomorrow. If the SEC gets left out, like some people think that will happen, it'll be the first time the SEC has not made the 14 playoff. If Alabama gets in over either Texas or Florida State, that will also be a first because they have never left out an undefeated Power 5 champion, and they've never put in a team over a team that beat another team head to head in the regular season. So, what are they going to do? What's the committee going to do? What's y'all's opinion on this? Let's talk about it. It's been a hell of a ride this season. It's been a great ride this season, actually. And yesterday was the conclusion of the regular season or the first week of the postseason, whichever one you want to call it. But like I said, it's been a great ride with you guys and gals this season. Now we're going to look forward to the postseason, and there's going to be chaos. My team, Alabama, caused it yesterday with their big upset of those Georgia Bulldogs ending their 29-game winning streak, along with probably ending their reign as national champions and putting a stop to the supposed first time ever unanimous three-peat that Georgia was shooting for. But before we get to all that, I'm going to bring up our Four Horsemen shout-outs. Four Horsemen shout-outs on today's show go to That Christian Fam channel, Alice Stokes, Daryl Madden, and Dakota Green are saddled up, mallet, and ready to go. They're going to help us with this college football invasion today. And if you want to get your badge and get deputized, just like they have been, then all you got to do is hit that join button, that subscribe button. It's only $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. That is just a half a bottle of water for the outlaw. Also, I can be found on Twitter at OCF Productions. Now, getting right to it here. Seems like we're going to have a little chaos. And it's pretty controversial to me. I mean, because something is going to happen for the first time, as I said in the lead up. Now, if, Jalen Milroe in the press conference made a good point. I was watching a lot of press conferences of Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, and other teams like that, and watch some of these talking heads that think they know what they're talking about. Most of the time they don't. But and a lot of people seem to think that, and Jalen Milroe's point was, by the way, let me backtrack to that. Jalen Milroe's point was, who is the number one team most of this year in the eyes of the committee? It was the Georgia Bulldogs, right? Now, I think they may have had Ohio State ranked number one at one time for a short period, maybe a week or two. I'm not sure. But Michigan took care of that. But who was number one for most of the year? Who was number one? It's pretty easy. The Georgia Bulldogs. And I think that's a great point and pretty much to the point in an argument to put Alabama in over, in my opinion, Florida State. Now, a lot of people are thinking, I was going to say Texas. No. Texas should be in too. In my opinion, Texas should be in at the number 3 spot. Alabama should come in the 4 spot and possibly play Michigan and Texas play Washington. That's my Final Four if I was going to do it. And it ain't because I'm an Alabama fan. I'm doing it based on what they said. The committee said this themselves. They had no qualms about putting a one-loss team over an undefeated team if they consider that team the best team. So now it's their time to prove that point. It's their time to prove that they're not just preaching from the seats, or just basically doing what you would consider coach speak, and follow through on what they've been preaching, that they're going to put the 4 best teams in. And my opinion is that Florida State is not one of the 4 best teams, especially without Jordan Travis, and now their backup quarterback is banged up as well. I've seen numerous arguments for people saying that Alabama should be in over Texas. I've had some of my own Alabama fans tell me that we're not the same team that Texas beat way back in September. And I cannot go along with that. I can go along with more so, and it may seem like it's crazy because, Texas has 1 loss and so does Alabama. So you're like, JPC, you should be making an argument for 1 loss team versus 1 loss team. No, I'm not going to do that, because the committee said they're the ones that stepped in the poo when they said it. They said, and I quote, "We're going to get the 4 best teams, regardless of record, and we have no qualms of putting a 1-loss team over an undefeated team if that's the case." And that is the case. If y'all could sit there and tell me straight in my face, with a straight face, that Florida State could beat any one of these top 4 teams, Michigan, Washington, Alabama, Texas, even Georgia, even a 5th team, then I think you're being dishonest. Because and I know, without Jordan Travis, and possibly now without their second string quarterback, that they would absolutely not beat any of those teams. You're going to have another TCU versus Georgia situation is what's going to happen. And you want to get the best games. Do you not? And put your hate aside for Texas or Alabama, and tell me that Florida State's better than 2 teams, just based on solely upon the fact that they're 13-0 in a pretty crappy conference, in my opinion. But that's my opinion on it. You guys and gals, tell me, y'all drop your top 4 in here before they release the top 4. I think it's going to be at 11:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, 12:15 Eastern Time. I'm going to release this video probably a few hours before it. I'm recording this thing now at almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been up all night. So basically, as I said, this comes down to Alabama versus Florida State for the last spot, not Texas. Texas should be in. But who would you pick? Be honest. Put your Alabama hate aside, because there's a lot of that out there, and just be honest. You have people like Jerry Palm and these talking heads on here that talking absolutes. Oh, it's never happened before, so it's not going to happen now. It would be a first. Well, I hate to tell you this, Jerry, and it might be a soft spot for you. It might be a trigger point for Jerry, and we may see Jerry flip out and have a seizure on CBS Sports tomorrow, because there's going to be a first happen regardless of whether you like it or not, Jerry. Either there's going to be a first time SEC not get in the Final Four, like you're talking about. That'd be a first time. Or there's going to be a first time where a team gets in, a 1-loss team gets in over an undefeated team, or a 1-loss team gets in over another 1-loss team that beat them head-to-head. Those are 3 firsts. One of them's going to happen tomorrow. Which one will it be? You guys and gals tell me. That's all I got today. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Also, there's a little heart down here if you want to make a one-time donation to the program. Just hit that heart, throw a few dollars in the coffers. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.